Hi there folks, Borislav247 here with another Days Gone video. And on this video folks, I'm going to show you a very unique location in which to take out the Sawmill Horde safely. Now, I'll just show as always what I'm actually using for the job. I have the holy trinity of weapons which I always like to use, basically the MG55, Chicago Chopper and the SMP-9. And I'm quite literally at the very start here just going to use a pipe bomb just to get their attention. Plus it'll take out a nice easy 20 freakers. Right, that's certainly got their attention. So at this point folks, I'm just looking to basically work the horde from one side of the sawmill way to the back of the other. Because this location, I've probably give it away by the thumbnail, but it is quite some way away from the main sawmill building. But right now the whole idea is just to get as many of them as possible over to this area. And I've just passed the reacher. That could make things a tad more problematic. Probably not, but yeah, it could make things interesting. So at this point folks, I'm just basically running them up this way. Quite a safe way to do it. You do also have the option of, if you do happen to meet any of the freakers just at the end of that train section, that you can actually take a left and head over into the narrow section and come back out at the other side. But at this point I'm looking to climb up to this spot here, and I'm still not going to engage. I'm quite literally looking to get as many of them over as possible. I'm just climbing to the top of here just to give them a chance to catch up basically. Because as you all know, this horde is 500 strong, so I know I will not get all of them over to this area. It is probably going to take at least 2 attempts to get them all over. But I wanted to show this as it is a fantastically safe way to take out this horde. And as well as this, there is 1 or 2 unique features of this area which make it very special indeed. So again, I'm looking just to make sure that I had the numbers, which I have, and here is where the magic happens. I look to get up to this area, and all of a sudden, they are still about, but you will see them all of a sudden start to lose a little bit of interest. Because this point here, folks, is pretty much untouchable. It is very, very rarely you will get one of the freakers coming up to this location where I'm standing right now. Right, at this point folks, I'm just going to have a little bit of fun now with the freakers. I'll throw the odd napalm, and I'm just going to start to go to town with a little bit of gunplay, very safely, it has to be said. The only downside in any way to bring them over here is that yes, they start to lose a bit of interest and whatnot, but it is very safe to take them out. They're not coming up to this location. The only possible way that you might get them coming up to this location is if they're coming up in large numbers. And the reason why I am stressing this is because I've actually tested out this location on the Black Friday challenge, because of course the Black Friday challenge is all about the Sawmill Horde area, and you can get them to this area in the Black Friday challenge because it's not out of bounds, but because the horde is constantly on you and they are in large numbers, you will find that some of them do actually manage to get up to your position here. When you are taking them on in the main Days Gone game, that is not the case, because they do lose interest, as this horde sometimes does. A lot of people will be very familiar with the fact that there is a bridge very nearby the front of the sawmill, and if you start to get the freakers running through that bridge, once you get to the other side, you already see that they start to lose interest because you're basically going to the boundaries of where the Sawmill Horde reside. This other side is very similar. The only time you will actually start to get them coming completely towards your position is when you come down a bit from that top rock where I am now. And I'm going to show that to very good effect later on in this video, folks, because once the numbers are at a very small level, I will use that to very effectively funnel the freakers to a certain point where I can take them out nice and easily with gunplay. But right now, folks, my main aim now is to basically start heading back, because I know all the remainder of this horde is basically heading back to their lair in the sawmill. I'm basically looking to pick them off nice and easy, and that's why I've got the suppressor on the SMP9 at the moment. I'm not looking to attract too much attention at this point. Because they're in smaller numbers, it's nice just to pick them off nice and easily like this. Okay, the freakers that are a bit further in the distance, I'm actually going to use the Chicago chopper to take out, because this obviously has a much better mid-range power. At the same time, making sure I'm using the suppressor again, just so that I don't attract too much attention. Because when I do get their attention, I want them in large numbers. So at this point, it looks like the rest of them now are back at the sawmill. So it's over we go to get them heading back over again. And it's a bit of rinse and repeat. Now, it's worth noting, folks, that I have tested this method on about 5 or 6 different occasions, and I can tell you that every time it takes roughly between 9 to 14 minutes to complete every time. But this method, folks, is not about speed. This method is all about safety. It is really just designed for anyone who is struggling with the Sawmill Horde and wants a nice, easier way in which to engage where you can take them out safely. Because normally I use this particular spot here to great effect. I will normally rain chaos down on them from here, but on this occasion I'm not going to do that. I'm just using it as a section where I can gather the horde, give them basically time to catch up to me. Now, another beauty of this particular area that I'm bringing them to every time is you don't have to be dependent upon using explosives. You can quite literally take them over to this section, get to that particular rock section, and then from there just hit them hard with gunplay. It really is all about simplicity, folks. And I'm just delighted to find another unique area. And on this occasion I am actually going to use an attractor just to see if I can keep a few of them quite close. So I've got the napalm out, but I'll be quite honest, yeah, I still don't quite have the numbers where I feel that a napalm is warranted. So I'm going to change back over to a grenade, and I'm going to hit them with some grenade play here. Yeah, they're actually congregating quite nicely there, so a little bit more. Now, yep, I'm just going to get myself a little bit higher up there. That is the spot where you are basically untouchable. But as I mentioned before, and I'm going to stress it again, just in case I get any comments after this video goes out, that if you are attempting this spot on the Black Friday challenge, they will actually manage to get to you, because their numbers are huge when they come for you in the challenge. Here, because you are on a boundary section, it is what stops them from coming up in the great numbers. And when they don't have the numbers, they simply do not come up to this spot. They will come close-ish, as you can see here, but actually again helps the cause because it just lines them up very nicely, so you can take them up nice and easy like that. And at this point again, folks, for the next minute or so, it's just target practice from long range. Okay, folks, in order to speed up the video just a touch, I decided to cut a little bit of the footage out. Basically, I was just taking pot shots like I am now, but as you can see, I've moved the action along a touch. They are now well in the distance, and I've just been having a bit of a laugh here, just taking them out nicely from distance, which is always fun, and it also gives you the chance to just work on your accuracy when firing from long range. And also worth knowing, folks, by the way, something that I haven't mentioned throughout the course of this entire video, I am actually taking on the Sawmill Horde here on Survivor 2 difficulty. So for anybody thinking, oh well, it's not that much of a problem, you're taking them on normal difficulty, that's not the case, folks. This is the hardest difficulty setting you can get. Now folks, given that I've taken up most of this horde, I should hopefully be able to entice the rest of them over without having to actually go back to the sawmill itself. So as always, I've got the suppressor on just to keep it reasonably quiet for the first few, and yeah, now I've nicely got them all coming again. So yeah, just for the sake of safety, because they are quite some way away, just taking a few more out with a little bit of gunplay, and hopefully for the last time I'll be heading them over to this section, and I'm going to attempt to show just how easy the last of them can be from this area, because this area is fantastic as you can manipulate them in a number of ways. By not going fully to the top of that rock area, because as you can see I'm halfway down now, they still won't come at you from the bottom, but they will all try and get you from this section here. And this is perfect because it just lines them up so well. And I do recommend you only try and take them out this way once you have them down to very small numbers, because they are very manageable. And there you have it, folks. That is the Sawmill Horde taken out at a very unique and very beautiful location, it has to be said. Very easily, folks. Oh, and there was a couple of stragglers just for good measure that decided to join the party. And that's a job very well done, folks. Another fantastic location that I can add to my collection of areas that basically make the job for taking out hordes so much easier. And all I can say now is, folks, thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Take care.